Oh my God. What a game. Let's talk about it. Before we jump into it, this video could not be made possible without Swish supporting me. You get 10% off if you use code SWOOPLUKE and if you go to the link below. So with Swish, if you don't know, you can get personalized videos from your favorite sports stars, mainly your favorite Collingwood stars. So I'm talking Nick Dacos, Jack Cripps, Scott Pendlebury, Josh Dacos. The list goes absolutely on and on. By clicking that link, getting a video, you're supporting this channel. So I really do appreciate it. And thank you, Swish, for jumping on. Now, 6 points. What the hell? This was the Collingwood of old. This was a defibrillator needed. I'm recording this at 12:30 after midnight because I've just got so much feelings and I'm G'd up still. I'm gassed still. And it was an incredible game. Firstly, Footscray, congratulations on the 100-year celebrations. That's absolutely incredible. I know for a couple of times they were going to go bankrupt and stuff. I'm glad they're in the league. I absolutely love the Western Bulldogs. There's just something about them. They're not offensive to me. I just absolutely love them. I'm glad we spoiled their birthday celebrations. Did I think it was going to be a bigger win? Definitely. But they really took us to the sword without a third of their team as well. So absolutely credit to them for pushing us all the way. Now, Collingwood, oh my God. Can we stop doing this? How do we go from 91 points to what we put up today? Mainly bad kicking is bad football. You saw it the other day with Carlton and Hawthorn, lots of errant kicks at goal and stuff like that. And now today, like what do we score? 9 goals, 16 or something. 10 goals, 16. And we were missing shots that we should have gotten, right? McStay, Membry, DeGoey, Elliott. These goals are bread and butter, or these short shots at goals were bread and butter, and we just missed them. But thankfully, we go on and we hold that lead, mainly thanks to a steel side bottom goal. Big game player, goal maker. He's done this numerous times, and we love Uncle for it. This game ebbed and flowed a lot, especially in that first quarter where it was mainly the Western Bulldogs. You know, they got off to a 3-goal start and we had to claw ourselves back from that. And it was 2 halves in that first quarter. We saw the worst of Collingwood, we saw the best of Collingwood. And in my preview, I said that, you know, what sort of Collingwood are we going to get? Are we going to get the Collingwood where we get penned in like we did against the Giants and couldn't get our run? Or were we going to get the Port Adelaide Collingwood where we just were running for the majority of the game? We got about 50% of each. There were times where the Western Bulldogs pressed us so much that we couldn't get the ball out of our defense and we were very slow, or we were kicking it long, and then Buku Kamis or Rory Lobb or Tim English were just taking these marks where it was just like what Sam Taylor did to us against the Giants. But then there were times where we were running the ball through the middle, and Pendlebury had 26 disposals, and he was instrumental. Nick Dacos, 39 disposals, and I think a dozen or so score involvements, and he was instrumental. But we just, again, we needed these special plays and over the top handballs and all this sort of stuff to get the game going. I would love a game like last week where it was just going from the start. And, arguably Port Adelaide had a better 23 than the Bulldogs did today. So, what does that sort of say going forward? I'm not even going to think about it. All I know is that we got the 4 points and we move on. I think we were cooked right from the start, where Reef in the first, not even the first 10 minutes, goes off with a suspected ACL injury, which is just, we've been crying out since Nathan Murphy left for another defender that can do this, and he was coming good. It's his last year of his contract, and now he's gone and hopefully not done his ACL, but it looks like he has done an ACL injury, so we won't see him for 12 months. That really stuffed us. Harry Perryman had to play in the back half, and it really messed up with the chemistry quite a bit. And then Sam Darcy kicks 4 goals, who is absolutely incredible. What an incredible player. And we just really didn't have any answers for it. In saying that, though, Darcy Moore played one of his best games last week. He was beaten one-on-one by Sam Darcy quite a bit, but Darcy Moore still had 12 intercept possessions, and Cameron was up there as well. So everybody played their role. It just felt to me like it wasn't super cohesive all the time, and I get that. we're not going to have a game like Port Adelaide where we're playing 4 quarters every single week, right? I understand that, but it just wasn't that cohesive. But again, I'm probably making a different video if we convert 4 or 5 of those missed goals or missed opportunities into goals, and we're here winning by 30 plus points. So I understand that. But it's just that cohesion just coming out of the back line, and we did it so well last week, and the Bulldogs, to their credit, just really hemmed us in, and we just didn't have those answers until we did have those answers, right? That's just how football works, and that's just how Collingwood have been playing for the last couple of years. What I did like though was we had 50 inside 50s. I can't remember how many we had last week, but we had 50 inside 50s. At one point, I think it was the first quarter, we had about 16 inside 50s for 2 goals or something. So that's not the return that you're sort of looking for, but the inside 50 was there. So we are getting the ball there. It's just about converting those chances. Another 65 tackles, which is absolutely great because we are the pressure pies, and that's what we do best. When we're pressuring other teams into turnovers, and the Doggies had way more turnovers than we had, that's what we do best. And that's why we end up winning these close games, and that's why we're winning the free kick count, because we're there, we're pressuring, we're tackling in gangs, and that's what really, really works for us. So I love that after that first game against the Giants, where we had no pressure at all and they were running circles around us, we really have corrected it on the fly, no pun intended. And for the last 2 weeks, we have 60 plus tackles, and the pressure pies are absolutely back. Like I said from the get-go, Nick Dacos had a very, very, very good game, probably a 3 Brownlow vote game. But Lockie Schultz, incredible. What did he do? Kicked 2 goals, 17 disposals, 7 tackles, but he was everywhere. I saw him in the middle. I saw him on the half back line, playing that high half forward role, but then playing that deep forward when we needed him to. I thought this last fortnight has been Lockie Schultz's 2 best games for Collingwood, and now we're seeing the dividends pay for that first round pick that we gave up for Lockie Schultz. And I love Lockie, right? And I think to appreciate Lockie Schultz, you have to go to a game and see just his running patterns and see where he is when the ball isn't around him and how much effort he's putting in off the ball. You don't really see that on TV, and I understand that, right? Darcy Cameron, again, 3 tackles, 26 hitouts, 4 marks. He took that game-saving mark. We need to give this guy the keys to the AIA Centre as well. Him, Braden Maynard, Bobby Hill, give them all the keys. Let them do what they want, because we can't let anyone poach this guy. He's more than a ruckman, right? He can drop back into the defense, and we saw that today, and we've seen that time and time again. I could shout out everyone. Ned Long, 9 tackles, incredible. Jordan De Goey on his return, kicked 3 behinds. I think he had just over a dozen disposals. I like what I saw from him, right? I wasn't expecting him to have 30 and 3 goals, but I like that he was in the game. He was working in the game. Looked a little bit off the pace, but that's understandable. Mason Cox, he did okay. Didn't kick a goal. How many marks did he take? 3 marks. Look, I said Mason Cox probably needed a couple more games in the VFL. I still really believe that. I just think, he probably doesn't, I don't know, like, I just think that maybe he wasn't the right choice. Didn't really provide us much, even though he's 211 centimeters, still didn't really provide what we needed. A couple of drop marks. But again, that's his first game back, this season, pretty much. And, with those injuries and stuff that he had. So he'll work himself into the game. I'm not going to be too harsh on him or Jordan De Goey. But when Brody Myercheck comes back, and you can see how much we missed Brody Myercheck, but when Checkers come back, you probably think that Cox goes out of the team. But yeah, I'm not going to be too harsh on Cox or De Goey, because it is their first game back. This was one of those games where I really thought Collingwood did what they needed to do. Just get those 4 points, go back to the AIA Centre, rest up, take that bye, and then we go into that game against Carlton with a fresher list, all the bumps and the bruises. It's one of those games where you just want to forget, in the sense that, not that we were lucky to win that game, but it's one where you go, okay, God, take the 4 points, go, and then just leave, right? And then just leave. But it was a fantastic, 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 fantastic game. Even though we hate close games, it's so good when you win a close game. It's so good when you win a close game. The Bulldogs got that one late. Steel Sidebottom kicks the winner in. A congratulations to Scott Pendlebury and Steel Sidebottom on breaking the record, 308 games together, which is absolutely just nuts, right? So Scott Pendlebury started in 2005. I was in year 7 in 2005. So pretty much, so what's year 7? 13 years old or so. So for the last 20 years, for the last 20 years, I haven't seen a game without Scott Pendlebury and Steel Sidebottom in the side, pretty much. That makes me feel really old, but it was special to get the win for them. Their jumper swap at the end was really, really nice. But I think there is definitely a lot of lessons to be taken out of this and a lot of things that we can work on. And thankfully now we have that bye to recalibrate, watch the vision, see where we kind of did wrong. But what I did really, really like was that, I said, if we are hemmed into a kick and mark sort of game like we were against the Giants, we need a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And we had that. We really, really did have that today. Against the Giants, we did it. We were just absolutely done. We didn't have any other plans. But today, we had a couple more plans. And when we're breaking through the middle, when Nick Dacos is getting those center clearances or breaking through the middle or just running or all of these guys, it just looks so bloody good. Dan Houston kicking his first goal for the club, Houston Rocket. Look, everyone played their role magnificently. It was, I just worry about that cohesion a little bit today, but I think that's just all on Footscray and how well they did play with the outs they get. And I hope, we probably, they're a good side. Maybe we verse them again a little bit later. And if we both make finals, who bloody knows? But, it was a very, very good game. I knew it wasn't going to be a 90-point win. I think I said 20 something points in my preview. But I'm happy that we got the win and little things to work on. We'll have that work on it. And I'm so keen to get to the VFL tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching this, at Vic Park and watch the VFL boys play. See who might be pushing for that extra couple of spots come the Carlton game. But let me know your thoughts down below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, double shackers, buy the merch. I'll swoop you later.